I have the pleasure of sitting down with Kevin Culliton, Vice President, Product Management and Services, OpenConnect. Kevin, thank you for spending time with me here today.
Thank you, Raheem.
So as president of IRPA, I find myself in the middle of this ecosystem of buyers, providers, and influencers kind of in this RPA solution space. On the provider side, it seems like every other week I'm learning about a new player in the marketplace or someone claiming to have RPA capabilities. But it's seldom that I find somebody who's been has 30 years of experience as OpenConnect does. Can you give us a brief history about OpenConnect and how you found yourself here in this RPA space?
Sure. As you said, 30 years of experience. We actually started out in the mainframe connectivity world, and that was our start into automation. We didn't know it at the time, and of course nothing was called RPA at the time, but we actually built a product that interacted with the mainframe green screens from a server level rather than from the desktop, and it passed the data to other applications. So you could use that data in multiple applications. We did that about 15 years ago. So it may have been the very first RPA system ever built. And it's definitely the first for mainframe. And then we got into automation, full automation, through a couple of customers that wanted to automate some of their systems. So we actually built an automation solution about 10 years ago. We chose to use a server-based architecture to centralize everything because of the control and the complexity of the processes we were automating. And that turned out to be a great choice because 10 years of using that, and we've had no downtime associated with our products at all.
Wow. So really, over the last 2 years, we've started to see some, I guess I'll call it maturity, segmentation, categorization of the various RPA tools, right? So there are robots that sit on the desktop, focus on end user productivity. There are robots that would sit on a blade server in the data center, right, that would be between multiple systems of record and would have end-to-end process automation. So my question is kind of where does your technology fit into that continuum?
In a way, in both areas, but let me give you a little description of what our product is and why it's important. Mm-hmm. It's a server-based, centralized environment, and the robots run on the server, so they don't run on a desktop. Okay. And not all the data we access is from a desktop. So we can access mainframe directly, we can access web services, databases, all sorts of different data sources. And those are just modules that the robots call. They call a module. That module handles the screen navigation and whatever else. So because we can handle so many different data sources, we can do that back-end orchestration, or we can do the desktop automation as well.
So RPA has been defined as a general purpose technology, meaning that it can be applied kind of horizontally across any process and in the industry. Where have you seen kind of the most interest and where have you gotten the most traction? And can you share with us some success stories?
Sure. OpenConnect focuses on the healthcare industry. Mm-hmm. And we found a really nice opportunity with claims automation. And claims automation is important for healthcare insurance companies because they have this auto adjudication rate that they're always trying to improve. And the auto adjudication rate is the measure of the percent of claims that get processed automatically without human intervention. So obviously their goal is to hit 100%. Nobody's at 100%. But they do get up into the 90% if they use automation. The industry standard is somewhere in the high 70s to mid 80s. And just to give you an idea of the cost associated with that, an improvement of 1% can yield a company anywhere from $1 to $2.5 million each year. And our automation solution is actually helping people anywhere from 5 to 10%, in some cases even higher. So you're looking at $5 to $25 million in cost savings each and every year. So that's where we've seen a lot of success. The other area is mainframe. If there's any mainframe access at all, because of the way we communicate with mainframe, and I'll give you an example. We were asked by a very large, well-known company if we could automate one of their mainframe processes. We went through a proof of concept. They loved the solution, and we ended up getting the deal. In fact, we're working on the contracts as we speak. Come to find out, they had tried 2 other RPA desktop-based solutions and failed with both of them. And it's because of the way they interact with the mainframe versus the way we do it.
Interesting, interesting. All right, so we're sitting here today at the end of 2015, and over the last 2 years, things have moved quick in the RPA space, and I think we've gone from hype to reality in blazing speeds. So as you look in the future, right, the next 2 years, in 2016 and beyond, how do you see the future of RPA, specifically with OpenConnect?
We do mainly back office processes, automate the back office, and those are very complex, and I think they're more complex than most people realize. So there's this trust factor that people have about a robot being able to learn and do what it wants on its own. I think we'll get there at some point, but just convincing our customers that to allow a robot to make decisions on its own would be really difficult to do. So the way we're approaching this is to take the analytics from our workforce analytics tool, which is a real-time product that captures everything a user does. It shows you where they spend their time. It shows you, your top performers and all of that, and how they execute the processes. And then we take the analytics from the robot, from the automation solution, to show you everything the robots are doing. We combine that in and give you a holistic view of your workforce, your human workers as well as your virtual workers. And then applying intelligent analysis to that data to get you closer to the artificial intelligence, whereas everybody's headed that way, but do it in the analysis side and the data side so that you can define those rules for the robots and then let a human check that before it goes over to the robots to work. And I think people in the back office would like that type of environment better than just letting a robot do whatever it wants. So that's where we're focusing our time.
That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more and great things from you. So thank you for spending time with me.
Thank you, Raheem.